Hey, it's time to catch up with us. It's been a bit.
Yes, we've been busy, and hopefully you guys all have too been busy gaming.
Yeah, somebody's been keeping us extra busy.
With yes,
Blame the dog. All right, so yeah, let's grab your cup of coffee, pull
or
up a
tea.
chair or tea, and let's get cracking with another episode of Board Games and Coffee. Welcome to WiscoDice. Hey, yo, folks, I am your host, the Conesy with Most, and I'm joined today by...
Hey, I'm Suzanne.
And we're going to catch up on all of the gaming we've been doing.
Yes, gaming this, gaming that, gaming at home, gaming away.
Just gaming, and we're
New games, old games.
And, of course, heading right into convention season. This is the perfect time to catch up on all those things that we've been doing, playing games, and finding out, most importantly, what is in your cup.
What is in my cup is a lovely concoction that I picked up at Gen Con this year. It is by Druid's...
Concoction?
Well, yes.
Were you boiling and troubling over a cauldron?
Kind of. It is. It's tea from Druid's Garden Tea Company. And now it's Manny's Mood is the name of the tea. It's an Earl Grey with lavender tea. It's a very nice, relaxing morning tea.
I see. Well, I have one of my favorites from Just Coffee Co-op.
Yeah.
It is the Reanimator. So, yeah, that is it. Clearly, coffee. That's why we're doing this, because we can't remember our lines. All right.
I can.
Yeah,
I don't need coffee to help me.
So, anyways, if in future episodes of Board Games and Coffee you want to be featured on screen, make sure you leave a comment down below. And while you're down there, what should folks do?
Oh, you should definitely smash that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, because I do a little dance every time someone subscribes.
She does.
It's very exciting.
Silly. Maybe I'll get it on film sometime.
You just did.
No, the actual subscribe dance, not the, hey, I'm doing the dance for this.
I don't know what dance he thinks I'm doing, but okay.
Anyways, sometimes it's more animated. Yeah, so...
Yep, so we're having coffee. Doing? We've been playing games. We've been, let's see, convention season.
Yeah.
We went to Gen Con.
That was a thing, yeah.
That was a big thing.
It was there, and then it went, and it was gone, and I'm not sure where those 4 days went.
Well, it was longer because we went down on Tuesday.
That was
really lovely. Good. Yeah, that was relaxing, and the first time I had a time to walk around downtown Indianapolis.
Yeah, we went for a big walk and just kind of looked around at stuff and had a day to play some games together and just hang out and relax before the insanity.
Yep,
before just nonstop.
Go.
This year was maybe more nonstop than any previous year we've been to Gen Con.
I don't know. Mine was busier in what I had scheduled blocks of time, and I did lose my voice because I'm not used to talking nonstop for 4 days and projecting over a group of crowds of people. Yeah. But I had a blast. I did something different, something I have not done at any convention before. I worked for 2 different publishers.
Mm-hmm.
So for Papers and Games, I did some demos and answered general questions in Hall C, where the ticketed demos were going on, and then or ticket gaming, I guess it was. I was just doing little demos at the top, and then I was with Weird. The other part of my days demoing Pocket Cats and their new Weirdlings card game, which was a lot of fun, and also kind of talking to people a little bit about Malifaux, but I don't know enough about it, so I just...
At least at the time.
I've played it. I finally played it a few times now.
Yep.
So, so that was a lot of fun. It was great to just talk. I love talking to people and talking about games, which is why I get to talk to you guys because of him and lets me talk to you guys. He gets tired of me.
No, I don't get tired of you. I worked for Gooey Cube running, being a dungeon master for their games. So I was way out in Lucas Oil running games. Mm-hmm. But we were fortunate we had a connected hotel, which was nice.
Yep. Yep.
But then
We were lucky.
evening there was an event.
Yep,
So we
for
were
the two of
constantly
us.
doing events. Yeah, for the two of
That's
us.
when the two of us
Yep.
spend time together. Is we had one ticketed
then-
gaming event every evening.
And then I had a little bit of time to run around the vendor hall on Thursday and a little bit of time to run around the vendor hall on, well, I guess a lot of time to run around the vendor hall on Sunday. You got a little time to run around the vendor hall on Saturday, right? Or did you work a double shift on Saturday? You didn't work a double shift every day.
No, I think it was Friday afternoon.
Anyways.
I don't know. I had one short period of time that was after another shift, and I was just
it's
tired.
Such a blur.
And then Sunday. Like, I really didn't do much of anything until Sunday.
We barely did. We got to Gen Con. We had our nice, like, relaxed day before the storm hit, and then just go. And then it was Sunday. Like,
yep, and he slept most of the way home.
Yeah.
He was not driving.
No,
make that clear.
Physical, pretty much complete physical exhaustion. And I don't know how you managed to drive. I was really close to saying, hey, can we see if the hotel will let us extend another night here because I am done.
I'm totally fine driving.
But yeah, it was a great time. We strongly recommend Gen Con. So
it's definitely different than other conventions. Like if you're attending, Strong Tower, Midwinter Gamehole Con.
Other conventions we're going to be attending this fall.
Which are ones we are going. Yeah, we are going to be attending those. We will be running games there. Those are they're all unique in their own ways, and they all have their pluses. But they're maybe more focused on games or
if you're looking to go to Strong Tower or which is just this next weekend or Gamehole Con. There are still event tickets open for games we're running, including games I'm running at Gamehole Con for Gooey Cube, particularly on Thursday. So make sure you get signed up.
Yeah, I think I have 2 slots in my Gamehole Con games left.
Yeah, if you want a D&D game at Gamehole Con that features cool terrain and figures and immersive art and all sorts of really good tale, make sure you get registered for Peculiar Brews or Shades of Lost that I'm running at Gamehole Con.
And I know we've talked a lot about Gooey Cube system. Like, we've talked with Alphinius and Cameron Mandy, and we've been on their Good Morning Goliath, and we've just talked about it. But I will just say one thing that's awesome is that if you have a hard time paying attention to what the DM's saying and creating that picture in your head, sometimes while also figuring out what to do, the artwork just, I don't know. Like, for me, I love the pictures. It's like a picture book almost, but it's not. It's not a picture book.
Especially at a convention, right, where you might have a really loud room where you can't hear other people. And I know every convention, whether it's GaryCon or Gamehole Con or Gen Con, they do a lot to try to help with that. But at the same time, like, you get 50, 60 people, 100 people, 200 people in the same room all talking at the same time. It can be hard to hear things, but it is so quick. I found so many times at Gen Con where I was, you could tell people on the other side of the table were having a hard time hearing what I was saying, and I would just show the picture, and then you could just see I understand what's happening now.
Yep.
And so it was awesome. Like, that's awesome about the product, and one of the reasons I enjoy running that game. But
so what else? So we talked a lot about convention stuff, which is coming up, and some stuff in the past.
Malifaux. Let's talk miniatures. We'll start with Malifaux.
All right.
Because miniatures has been something that's taken up more of our gaming time, particularly my gaming time.
Your gaming time a lot.
Our gaming time.
And some more of mine.
Well, Malifaux. Let's start with Malifaux.
Yeah. I'm going to start with Malifaux because right now that's my favorite game because BMG's dead for now for us. But so Malifaux, I was introduced to it years ago when I saw a poster for it in his living room when we were dating.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And slowly I started learning the lore and everything. And then about 2.5 years ago, I said, I want to get into Malifaux. Finally, last year got a demo of it at Gen Con to kind of understand. 2024 Gen Con.
Which would have been Malifaux 3.
Right. And I was like, oh my gosh, this game seems so cool. I don't know, the kind of steampunky-esque aspect, different worlds, kind of just the whole storyline just caught my attention. that it's a skirmish game. So you have a small number of models on the table and stuff, and you're flipping cards. You don't have to run, you don't have dice rolling all over the table. But then you also don't get to buy as many cool dice.
No, you get to buy card decks instead.
Yeah. But still. Anyway, and so then 4E came out, so we kind of didn't completely move and finish. We were kind of waiting to see what 4th edition.
Yeah, I had finally dusted off my cruise, gotten everything ready. I was going to play. We were going to play, and then they announced 4E, and I was just like, oh, that burst my bubble. So we paused. I put a kind of pause until after Gen Con, when you could get a physical copy of the rule book.
Which helps me a lot, even though the rule book, it just gives me that like, basic... I still look stuff up online.
4E is still a bit in like a beta phase almost, even though they're printing and publishing product at this point, and there's models that are now officially updated to 4E. There's a lot of the game that's still getting tweaked and refined with community playtesting, which is cool. So
yeah, and I think that's pretty neat too, that they're like having it play tested with the community, and you can get access to all this stuff. And also, this was part of my foray into learning how to paint miniatures. And now I have way more paints and paintbrushes than I probably one person needs.
No, they're like dice. You need more.
I'm having fun with that aspect of it. So it's giving me something kind of creative, artsy, crafty to do. And then this game to play that we've just been playing at home. So that's nice. And then what other game are we getting ready to play?
Well, so you mentioned Batman miniature game, and I do want to address that because we, talked about that a lot, and I was super high on it, and I'm still, like, the game itself, I'm really excited about.
Oh, yeah.
But night models, who knows what's going on with them. What we know is that the app has been broken for several months.
And you can't play without the app, really.
Yeah,
they
got to a point where they had integrated basically the entire game into the app. Pretty much, you needed the app just about to play, and now that the app isn't there, it's not impossible to play, but you have to like dig around in community resources and like on the Arkham Rejects Discord. There's some files that were grabbed apparently before things blew up, at least from like back last fall, so that you can get enough stuff and print it out physical copies to play, which is what is always good about having a physical copy of stuff to be able to play with.
Oh yeah.
But on top of that, their actual retail website had went down and got shut down completely and was down for several months, and now is just mysteriously sprang back to life, but only takes direct bank payments, and all the prices are like half of what they used to be. So, and there's a bunch of like typos and other sketchiness with it.
And,
so nobody really
in
knows.
Multiple languages. It's in Latin for some parts of the site and stuff.
And nobody,
so
and nobody has heard from Night Models or has gotten any kind of communication. So nobody really knows what's going on. I mean, it could be par for the course from Night Models' behavior to do this, or it could be that somebody is just taking over the domain and is trying to scam a bunch of people out of money. We don't know. So, if you're a Batman player like we are, hopefully you're able to get materials to be able to play and still play the models. The models are amazing. I really enjoyed the gameplay, but
you did a really good job painting the models for that.
They put a little bit of a drop on that, but then I've gotten back into Games Workshop gaming. It started with I've been playing a few pickup games of Warhammer: The Old World. Square Bases brought back to life, which was what the foundation of WiscoDice was. If you go back and listen to older episodes of the WiscoDice podcast before Suzanne, before 2020, the show was all Warhammer fantasy.
It was in the BS period.
Yeah.
I guess. Wait, we're still in.
Suzanne. Yeah, we're still in the BS period.
Yeah, but that's more BS.
So I've been playing that a lot, and the group had gotten to a point where we were all playing in the basement here, and it was starting to get to the point where there would be 3 games nearly every week, and we were playing
all the space that we have.
Yeah, it's stretching
and the terrain
because the terrain I got plenty of, but the stretching the table space.
You heard it. He does not need any more terrain. He just admitted to it.
I haven't made any terrain for Old World.
I'm just documenting.
We need Malifaux terrain. played that. I've been playing that a lot. We got moved to a game store where I'm now playing at Misty Mountain Games on Monday nights starting at 6 p.m. So if you're in the Madison, Wisconsin area and you're looking for old Warhammer: The Old World, that we are the only group that plays regularly that actually has regular play and a group of players actually there. I know that there's some couple of people maybe that play on occasional pickup games over at Noble Night on Wednesdays, but we do it every week, and there's 6 to 8 of us right now that are rotating through, and it keeps growing. I just saw another new person join the Old World Discord, so I'll actually have a link in the description where you can find our Warhammer the Old World Discord for the Madison area too, down in the description if you're looking for Warhammer the Old World.
I'm going to say one thing about this group of guys that you guys are playing, and it doesn't have to be exclusively guys. I just am not interested in this style of miniatures, but they all seem to be having so much fun. Like when you guys were playing here, and I would hear so much laughter and joking around and like helping each other out. It was like you guys are competitive. But it was like this, hey, after work break, this is our break. This is not life or death. We're going to have fun and we're going to play. And that's what you were doing, which is a little different than I sometimes see or experience with other gaming, miniature games. Because any game, it can get intense.
I think one of the things that makes a miniature game great, like the reason to play a tabletop miniature game versus like a role-playing game or a board game is the visual of the game. Like if you were a person that really wants to have that visual exploration of being able to enjoy the game from that aspect, and the other part of it is like a lot of these games, it's the immersion and narrative that can come out of the game and the gameplay that can be really enjoyable. Sure, there is hyper-competitive gameplay. I'm sure there are people who are out there that play these games at a win at all costs, and that's more about the mechanical gameplay. But the biggest reason that I think most people jump into a miniatures game, though, is really for that visual aesthetic of the game.
That's what got me hooked with them.
Because you could just play a board game or a role-playing game. If you don't, why spend the money for all these minis and the terrain and the setups and all of that if you're not enjoying that part of it? So
right. I don't know. Well, for those of you who have never played a miniature game, too, this is how I've always explained to my coworkers. They're like, what the heck's a miniature game? I'm like, remember when you were little and you had those little action figures and you would have them fight each other or play together? That's what this is, except you're doing it as an adult with smaller figures and a few rules.
Or a lot of rules.
But yes. So that's my description of
so miniature gaming's been quite dominant. I also stuck my toe back into 40K, so Warhammer 40K, dusted off my Chaos Marines, and basically painted an entire, I don't know, probably close to 3,000 points of Chaos Space Marine
which means it's Black Legion colors.
It's probably close to 70 models painted at this point.
Yeah. I think it's great when I get one model done. I celebrate
it's the difference
one
between
model.
A skirmish game and like Malifaux, you need like 8 or 10 models, and 40K you need. It is ridiculous. Like you never used to need this many models. Like a 40K, like a 1,500 or 1,500 points back in like 40K 3rd edition. You needed like maybe 30 to 35 figures painted for a 40K game, and now it's like in order to do a 2,000 points, which is a standard points, which is okay, the more points, and everything's a little bit cheaper in points, it feels like. So you need, like, a Chaos Marine army went from being like 30 figures to now it's close to probably 40 or 50 figures on the table. I also started building a Drukhari army, which is not even quite to 1,000 points painted. And Drukhari are supposed to be like this, like, evil space pirate elf elite army. And I'm at like 45 models or something like that at 1,000 points. It's kind of crazy how the game has changed over the years. Like it's in its 10th edition from when I played originally back in 3rd edition. But the scene is far more competitive, and
it's intense.
The game is much more like
Oh,
I don't get the same narrative. Like we're talking about like that narrative feel for things. It feels like the game has lost that. So
it seems like
kind of sad.
And I've not actually played it. I've just heard about them secondhand and also seen some of it, like here and there when I've walked into a store. But they're very intense. Those people, they've got their Marines and their Chaos Marines. But we have another miniature game.
Yes,
that I finally got.
We need to play.
The miniatures assembled for it. Someone needs to paint, but I will play it without painting them.
I got them primed.
Okay, did you prime different colors so I know which is on which team? It's all right. But it is Star Wars Shatterpoint.
Yeah, our friend Brian, who was on our show for our review of
Role Player Adventures by Thunderworks. So
he's a big Shatterpoint player and been talking up the game. And
so we just bought.
So I want the Ewok.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna buy the starter box and play with the starter box.
That's where we're starting. Yes. And I want the droids.
Oh my gosh. So basically we're going to play this game so that Conesy can have all of the Star Wars figures that he wants to paint, but he will be painting these. I will not be painting them because it's really so that it all matches and looks and can be displayed. My figures just get displayed on the table when I'm playing. I'm not to your level yet. But so if you guys have played Shatterpoint or have any favorite crews for that, or they're not called crews. It's been a while since I read the rulebook for it. Let me know, because he wants Ewoks, and who else do you want? Droids. So I need something.
The 2-player starter comes with a bunch of droids, so you just need like another pack or two to complete out the droids that they have for the game.
Yes, but anyway, so that's what we've been doing with miniature games. So we talked about role play. We've talked about a little bit of role playing games, miniature games.
Yeah, let's talk about board games. Most of you are here probably like, oh my goodness, are these guys ever going to talk about board games? Board games, we played a ton.
Gosh, so many.
What are a couple of the highlights that we've played this year or this summer?
Well,
what's your favorite game you played this summer?
Well, it's still Galactic Cruise.
Right.
I don't even think we've talked about Galactic Cruise. Oh my gosh.
So we do have a full review coming out on the audio show, so you'll be able to catch the full review of that.
And I think we're going to, because I like it so much, and you enjoy it, we're going to talk about it more here, too.
Probably.
I love that game.
And they've got another Kickstarter coming out very soon for another expansion to it. Plus, you'll be able to get the base game again.
Yes.
I don't know if it's sold out everywhere, but...
I have not seen it in stores, but it's Kinson's Games is the publisher.
Kinson Key Games, right?
Kinson Key Games, sorry. Yes, Kinson Key Games is the publisher, and it's their first game. And I think they just blew it out of the water with it. And they have another one that's in play testing that I'm excited for. Kind of like Distilled was Paverson's first game, and you just got hooked on that one and dragged me along for the ride, and it was so much fun, and they knocked it out, so I'm...
Distilled's definitely great. By the way, Dave, where's my luthier? It ain't here yet.
I don't think anyone has. It's not his fault.
It's...
Anyway,
last update was there's like about another 2 weeks of shipping, and it all should be to all the backers at that point. So
and
hopefully
then
in the next 2 weeks.
we will play Luthier. So that's kind of my favorite game. That's not even just my favorite game this summer. That's my favorite game of the year. I have other favorite games for the summer, but how about yours before we get into more of mine?
I'm gonna talk about a game we got at Gen Con, actually, that I don't know if I'd call it my favorite game or the one I've enjoyed the most.
The one that you've played the most?
But it's definitely one I've played the most.
This one's fun, though.
It's a neat little game. And it's called Fliptoons.
Yeah.
From Thunderworks Games, from our friends over at Thunderworks. So, and Fliptoons is a nice small box game. It's a simple card game. It really isn't that complicated, but you've got a little market of like 5 tunes, and each card has like a value on it, the numeric value, and you arrange the cards in the market from lowest value to highest value for lowest price to highest price. And then every turn, both you and your opponents are start of the turn are going to deal out a 3x2 grid of cards and generate fame. and then that fame is going to be used in player order to either buy,
hire
a card.
So hire other tunes,
hire another tune from the market, or to
dismiss them from
basically purging them from your deck. So you can call a card from your deck, or and you get 2 of these actions. So you can do 2 buys, you can do 2 calls, or you can do a buy and a call, whatever.
And some cards have actions on that when you hire them, then you're dismissing someone else,
or you're getting extra fame to buy with, just temporary fame. Anyways, you keep doing this until somebody gets 30 fame. And what's neat about this is then you complete that round, so everybody gets a chance to buy stuff and whatever. But that doesn't mean that the person's won.
Nope.
Because then we're going to go into a final, like, hey, you're going to put on the show now. So you've been hiring all these tunes. Now you're going to see who can put on the best show to draw the greatest fame. And so you might have flipped maybe 33 fame and that final flip that triggered at the end of the game, and then you turn around and flip like 20. For your the
or
show
if you're like me, you hit what I hit 35 the last game I played, and then I flipped like
22.
No, it wasn't even 20. It was in the teens. And then I even used my reset buzzer,
which is the little mini expansion that you basically get with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So neat little game. It doesn't cost a lot, and it seems like everybody that we've played it with has really enjoyed it, and it's going to be one of
our travel games now. Like, we have Pixies that we travel with. We're going to travel with Fliptoons. I'm blanking on what other games we sometimes travel with. But, it's going to be one of those ones I just stick in the bag to take with me. And it has a solo mode.
So, and I know there's a lot of you out there that probably have already been exposed to Fliptoons. Thunderworks sold over 1,000 copies of this game at Gen Con, which is the first time it premiered.
Yes.
And I know people have been buying it a lot since. So it's a neat little game.
Yep.
Check it out. Another one that I would say hit the table that I really enjoyed a lot more than I thought I was going to was the White Castle.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that's from Devere, I think.
Yep, it's a Devere game, and I know it's been out for a while.
It has been, and it had a lot of people talking a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, and I just I heard people talking about it, but I didn't actually see much about it in other places except for just random people talking about it. And I wasn't sure, theme-wise, and really it's 3 rounds of 3 turns each. It doesn't seem like enough, but now I can't get enough of that game.
It's a very satisfying, quick-to-play worker placement game. That's what it is.
I know. I feel like it's a very complete. Yeah, it's a very complete feeling game.
Yeah, you feel like you've played a full game. You get that great worker placement, collect resources, spend the resources for things.
Chain your actions.
Build
it. Yeah, kind of.
All of that kind of goodness boiled into, you get 9 turns throughout the course of the game.
And it's not a table hog.
It doesn't take up all the. It's not even a shelf hog. The box is a smaller box.
No, but it's not so small that you can't find a spot for it. Yeah.
And so it's been great.
Iconography makes sense after the first time you play it. It's just because of what actions you take. They're not like this, I don't know, move forward 2 spaces, I
think if you like games, it's probably a touch more advanced, but not much than a game like Lords of Waterdeep. Which, I
would say it's a little bit more because you have to.
There's a little bit with some of the daisy chaining of things. It's a touch more complicated, but not a lot more complicated than that. But it's you're done even with a group. I think it plays up to 5 or something, or 4. 4. Even with a full 4 players, you're done easily in 90 minutes or less. Even if you're having 2 players, unless you have some real analysis paralysis at the table.
Right, and. There is a little bit of, if someone takes the die that you want to use for your actions on your turn, you have to reevaluate when it comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That
or
is
the most spot that you want to go to isn't available.
And in a 2-player game, that's a lot harder to get the action spots. But anyway, so yes, White Castle's really good.
So there was a Kickstarter that showed up right before, just a couple of Kickstarters actually that showed up right before Gen Con. But one of them was from our friends at Sophisticated Cerberus Games.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
I this thing seemed to be flying off the shelf for them at Gen Con. So
Yeah,
hopefully
it looks
people
so
really
neat
enjoy
too.
this one, and it is Sprocket Forge. Yeah, I didn't know what to think of it when I was seeing the 3D prototypes that they showed off last year at Gen Con. I wasn't really sure what to think of it, but I'm like,
It's been
I love you guys. I'm
fine-tuned
going to back you
so
anyways.
much. So, I mean, I was intrigued because it was steampunky gears, like kind of this manipulating
Yeah.
and some set collection and stuff, resource management, but
Yeah.
they fine-tuned it a lot from where it was. So
everybody's got a player board that has 5 gears on it, and so every turn you're taking, and on your, you have a player board, and then you have this like factory board, and the factory board's got the 5 gears, and every turn you're going to take one of 3 actions, which are well defined on the player board, and then you turn around and all the other players at the table get to take whatever action you choose for your main action. You resolve it, and then everybody else gets like a weaker
follow
version.
action.
A follow action is a weaker version of that action.
Right,
generally.
but there's some simultaneous play, so everyone's involved and invested in what you're doing.
And then you spin your factory.
Yeah,
your factory gears turn, and so like, and you get like upgrades for your factory dials, and you're trying to like,
or enchantments for your dials,
and then you get the discs, and then you get the little center, and then you get the little center things.
Yep, and then you get the upgrades,
whatever they're called. Yeah. Anyways, like,
I've read the rules like 6 times.
Like trying to get those to all line up so that you can get the production you need to complete these missions or whatever they are.
Orders.
These orders that are, basically you need X resources. Your factory churns out, ultimately you're churning out resources from your factory so that you can fulfill them, and then if you don't use them, they go up into your exhaust.
Some of them can go on your dials.
Some of them go on your dials, but a lot of them go up in your exhaust. You only have so much room in your exhaust before you start taking negative points.
Yep, and then other players can take from your exhausted mana pool,
and it has,
which is nice.
Potentially, there's abilities to do that, but it doesn't overstay its welcome on the table. I feel like every time I've gotten okay, I'm starting to get just a touch I want this thing to be over. It answers. It's the game's done. Over.
All of a sudden, you're all the way up.
It's really neat. I really love the little gears and the tactile playing with that part of it. It's a neat little game.
And we've only played it on the basic side where everyone has the exact same abilities. There's a flip side of all of them where there's some asymmetric abilities that everyone has something that is beneficial, something that is kind of a negative for them, and then something I think that kind of just helps everyone. So I'm anxious to kind of play with those abilities too on there, but I really think that you need to understand how everything works in the base game.
Sure.
So I'm not going to would be like, hey, you've never played Sprocket Forge before? Let's play the asymmetric side.
I don't know how much it's going to change things, but we're still in the introducing people to it stage of the game.
It's enough to
table
understand
4 or 5 times now. So.
And people that have played it with us have wanted to play it again.
Absolutely.
So that one's really cool.
What is your favorite game that you got at Gen Con?
Oh my gosh, what games did I get at Gen Con?
Well, could be a game that, probably this Malifaux 4E because.
So here's the thing: is that you did most of the shopping at Gen Con this year.
I did.
I enjoy for a shuffle. So to our subscriber that said, or one of you guys that said, hey, you should check out For a Shuffle if you like Terraforming Mars. I was like, huh? But I did, and oh my gosh, it's such a hit. We have so many people around us now that play For a Shuffle and own it.
Yep.
And the expansions, and then the Dartmoor version came out.
Yes.
And so went and got that, and I picked up a couple copies for friends too at Gen Con, and we've been playing that, and I love having both versions of it.
Yeah, Dartmoor
I
does
think
distinctly play just a little differently than base 4 Shuffle. I mean, it's basically the same
basically
games,
same,
and if I were going to buy one over the other, I'd probably buy Dartmoor right now.
I don't know. I would maybe do
we have
the original with the expansions. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
We have one person in particular that plays with us at our public game days, particularly at a Wilden Distilling, which we play there on the first and third Thursday of or Sunday of the month. Sorry, Sunday of the month.
Thursday, I think, is Irish sea
I need
shanties.
more coffee. Anyways, and it was great because she was at Misty this last, because we play at Misty Mountain Games on the final Friday night of the month. And so she was there, and she was like, we were joking about potentially playing it at the end of the night, Dartmoor at the end of the night. She was like, how can I get done with this game so I can go play
Wondrous Creatures, and we were just so close to the end of that game, and then she was like, okay, do this. Okay, it's done. I got my score.
And then the store had, 50 minutes left of being open, and we started a 5-player game of 4 Shuffle.
We all knew how to play.
We did all know how to play.
And somehow I magically won, even though I was the one sitting
You couldn't even see the cards.
All I went by, this is my new strategy, everyone. You can copy it if you want, because I don't think it's a good strategy. But
I think
just do the colors.
Players.
Yeah, in 5 players, I just went for picking up the cards that had the colors I needed and focusing on only one card that was going to get me scoring, which was I needed to have the most Moors. And
I tried doing something different. I
don't usually do that, so I'm like, okay.
I was the last Dartmoor I've played the first 2 times. I think it turned into a lot of both plays were what is it? They're not butterflies in this one. It's
dragonflies.
I had lots of dragonflies and lots of other things. So this time, because in Dartmoor it's a lot easier to get these. It's normally in 4 Shovel you can place a card. You get a tree down on the board, and then you can place there are cards that you can place on the top and bottom and on the left and right of the tree.
Yep.
And
for the Moors,
when you add in Dartmoor and there's the Moors you can add 2 cards to the top and 2 cards to the bottom.
Yep.
And the cards
but nothing on left and right.
And so I'm just gonna try to do a strategy that was with the left and right. So the cards are either split down the middle, left and right, or top and bottom for the animals and fauna and plants and whatever that you can put down. So I was like, I wanted to do a bunch of the
left and right strategy.
Hooved creatures strategy and pause. So I had a bunch of mice, and I had a bunch of bonus scoring mechanisms for those. But then I think somebody picked up on the table that I was looking for hooved creatures, because all of a sudden they stopped getting discarded to the market, and I never saw another hooved creature for the rest of the game.
Or they may have been discarded by the person on your left and then picked up by someone a couple seats down.
So, anyways.
So, I wouldn't know anything about that. I will say that's one was awesome about playing it on this Friday, is that with 5 of us, we all knew what we were doing, because we'd all played it so many times, that if we saw someone else going for a strategy, we just,
I think what happened is nobody could see. You were so far down the table, because the game was such a small box. And you would think that small box game would not be a table hog, but but even at 2 players, it will take half of this table to build out our tableaus of cards in front of us.
Yeah, each Moor, bush, or tree needs about a 6-inch box around it.
Oh yeah,
is what it needs
so
for
if you're going to fill it up. Table hog. So yeah, by the time you put 5 players, which I don't know, it was fun playing it with 5, but I don't think you should play it with 5. I think it was too much, because you can't see it's at some point there's
your score doesn't get as high. It's not maybe as satisfying.
That was good. That was actually good.
But it's not maybe as satisfying to
there were a couple
different.
There have been times we were playing 4 Shovel as a 2-player, and I'm like, geez, for the love of goodness, would it just end? I'm done. Yes, I want to keep going and adding stuff.
Even though we take out all these cards,
I've done enough in the game. I'm done. Please give the thing over. But in the 5-player, that was definitely, I was like, oh man, I want just a little bit more game, because it ended.
It ended.
I mean, we did.
Yep.
Like, the winters came out fairly quick, but which was good though, because we were about 5 minutes from the store close when it was done. So
Yep.
anyways,
I'm trying to look to see what other games we've played recently because I feel like there's been so many.
Well, I think what we should do is, if you enjoyed this and enjoyed our board game talk, we're gonna talk about more board games on our next Board Games and Coffee.
Yeah, we're
while
gonna
we
talk
are
about
at Strong Tower. That one will probably release. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about Citizens of the Spark and Vantage,
a lot. Anyways,
and Lost Runes.
Yeah,
we've been playing lots of games.
Anyways, my cup has run dry.
Mine is actually empty too for once.
We've been talking for a while, so we're gonna go ahead and say
goodbye.
Make sure if you've enjoyed any of these games, pick them up at your friendly local game store. Or if you don't have a friendly local game store near you, you can probably get them from great stores like Noble Knight. You can order online. Anyways, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your coffee and enjoy those games.